All right, let's do some Mathity-Math. It says here, find the solutions of the quadratic by factoring. Well, that was nice of them. They told us exactly what they want us to do. Okay, so let's just factor this. So when we're told to factor, and there's only two terms here, we just need to look at each term and just ask ourselves, well, what do they have in common? Okay, well, what do they have in common? I see here that they both have an x in common, so I know an x could come out, so I'll just write that down. Right? I can take an x out of that and an x out of that. And so let me clarify, I guess. When we're looking for stuff they have in common, it's stuff that we could divide out of both of them, and it'll keep nice whole numbers, or you can divide completely is a better way to say it. So when we look at this, the next question is you could ask yourself, well, what factors do 100 and 50 both share? And when we do this, we actually want the greatest common factor. Because looking at it out the gate, you can see, well, they both share a 2. Okay, well, that would work. We could take out a 2. Here, and I'll do that over here. Let's pretend I was just taking out a 2x. Well, if I just took out a 2x, then I would have 50x minus 25. Right? And if I redistribute, you see I'd get right back to where I started, right? 2 times 50 is 100x. 2x times 50x is 100x squared, and 2x times negative 25 is negative 50x, right? So that, you know I did it right because it all goes back. But if you look, you can see there's actually still values that could be factored out of here, okay? Because if you look, I could also take out a 5, right? So now if I took out a 5, I've actually taken out a 2x, and I've taken out a 5, and that would bring me down to, well, 50 divided by 5. 50x divided by 5 is 10x, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. And if you look here, you can say, wow, 2x times 5, well, that's 10x. And I'm doing a lot of extra work here so you guys can just see why it's important. But when we actually solve it, we won't do all these steps. And you look here and say, oh, man, you know what? I can still factor something else out. I could actually factor a 5 out of this because 10 is divisible by 5, and 5 is obviously divisible by 5. So if you divided out a 5, now you'd have 10x times 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2x, and 5 divided by 5 would leave us with a negative 1. Okay, and then 10x times 5 is 50x, and this is 2x minus 1 equals 0. And you can see that's why we have to use the greatest common factor. In the beginning, it will save you so much time, and this is how you factor completely so that you can solve it. If you don't factor completely, you're not in a position to solve it, okay? So looking back up here, I want to kind of make the best jump I can. And so looking at 50, I can clearly see 50 goes into 100. So I'm going to take out 50x. That's how I'd pursue this from the beginning. 100x squared divided by 50x just leaves me 2x, and negative 50x divided by positive 50x is just negative 1, and this all equals 0. And now we get to use the zero product property. The zero product property just tells us A times B is 0. If A times B is 0, then A is 0 or B is 0 or both of 0, because anything multiplied by 0 becomes 0. So this just lets us break this into two separate equations, each equal to 0. So 50x equals 0, and 2x minus 1 equals 0. There we go. Okay, so let's just isolate this x. This says 50 times x. The opposite of multiplying by 50 is dividing by 50. So you're going to get 0 divided by 50 and 0 divided by 50. Here I can show you. So we divide by 50 and we divide by 50, right? That cancels to a 1. And so we get x is 0 over 50, or x is just 0. Because if I have 0 50s, I just have 0. Okay. Same idea. We add 1 to both sides. So I get 2x is 1. Divide both sides by 2, because the opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2, and I get x is 1/2. And those are your two solutions. This is where your parabola crosses the x-axis. These are your x-intercepts. So my answer is x is 0, and then x is 1/2. And there you go. You did it. Good job. All right. As always, please subscribe below if you want to be notified when I make you more practice problems. And if you got any questions, comments, or I did something wrong, or you just need to let me know how to do it better, please leave a comment below. Thank you. Bye.